Hey, this is Notser, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're taking a look at a pre-released legendary commander. This is the legendary commander for the Pan-Europeans. He is Swirski, and he is going to, I believe, be available in the second phase of the Pan-Europeans when they actually come out for, mainline research. You don't have to get lucky with some tokens from a container. I've had a lot of tin, as many of you have. So I haven't gotten a lot of progression, whereas I've read some of you guys have gotten like 3 or 4, 250. So you guys definitely need to go to the casino with that kind of luck. But this legendary commander is unique because he is focused pretty much 100% on making Pan-European DDs the best they possibly can be. I'm going to talk about his unique activatables, his passive commander enhancement, and show off some gameplay with the Lappland. The Lappland, for anyone who's confused, is actually just the Holland. It's so that we can test the impact that the legendary commander has on the Holland before considering the Holland itself in a separate, stat sheet. So that's why it's called the Lappland. It doesn't have any unique changes from the Holland other than the fact that it came with the legendary commander for testing purposes. And clearly the enemy aircraft carrier definitely wants to pick on us, but 2,000, that's not too bad considering we can recover, and we shot down 5 of his aircraft. So one of the things that the Pan-Europeans are really good at is AA. Now, the legendary commander Swirski, the 2 passives are the following. First one, every 8 torpedoes you land, your reload will be enhanced by 5%. And this is stackable. This can occur 100 times per battle if that's possible, but it is not a one-time activatable, so you will probably be encouraged to send torpedoes on cooldown as frequently as possible to benefit the maximum amount from this passive. And it is a powerful passive because you will land a lot of torpedoes with these guys, and especially the Holland, because this has the 85 knot torpedoes, which is very hard for anyone to avoid. I regularly get 3 to 5 torpedo hits on broadside battleships at 8 to 10 kilometers, which is unheard of. It's unheard of to have the entire torpedo send actually hit the same target. But with the speed that these torpedoes actually reach, it's possible. So that first passive is very exciting for a lot of torpedo fans, me included. The second activatable is related to AA. The first 20 aircraft that you shoot down, you will get 10% enhanced continuous damage. And the Pan-Europeans are absolutely the standout AA DDs in the game. They have heal to recover. They do a ton of damage to air. They're supposed to be the best of the best. And plus, they pretty much get defensive AA as a free bonus slot. It'd be really nice if the gearing would get that as well, and, the Fletcher and all that stuff. It just feels awkward to not be able to specialize in AA and take away from your actual ability to, move around the map with speed boost or anything like that. On top of those 2 activatable passives, Swirski has 1 passive commander skill, and it is Adrenaline Rush. So if you are familiar with the French unique commanders, they also have enhanced Adrenaline Rush, and it is very beneficial. It's pretty much taken mandatory for the French. I would assume it's going to be mandatory for this because it enhances your ability to send torpedoes and fire your guns at a higher percentage than the normal typical Adrenaline Rush. And for me, Adrenaline Rush is a no-brainer. You take it whenever you can, and it's just going to allow you to stay in combat and benefit from taking damage, which, for a lot of people, oh, we don't want to take damage. You're going to take damage, and oh, look at this guy. Can't avoid those. Yeah, those super fast torpedoes. We are using the faster torpedo module in slot 3, so those torpedoes are 90 knots in the water. And it's very, very quick. I love this aspect of the Pan-Europeans. It's been a while since I played, honestly, with the Pan-Europeans, going on vacation for so long. And I was trying to clarify, is the live version of Pan-European still guns or torpedoes or whatever? And, it's nearly 50-50. The people who prefer guns versus torpedoes. I'm trying to make the torpedoes work. And especially considering that this legendary commander is enhanced directly from torpedo usage. So it makes sense to try and make that work. It seems that Wargaming wants to funnel us in that way. And I'm completely fine being funneled in because I love the torpedo systems, and they seem to have disappeared just because they're not as consistent as guns, but maybe that changes the Pan-Europeans. Either way, though, we're staying in the center of the map. We're trying to keep it contested, and we're trying to use our AA to our advantage. It is a massive advantage, and it does help your teammates quite frequently. But one thing that has really shown through that a strat that works very well on Pan-Europeans with torpedoes, sending them on cooldown at or around an island chain that has enemies trying to take cover or trying to use it as some way to mask their position. Because the torpedoes move so quickly, they are very hard to react to. They do low damage, but taking a torpedo is still taking a torpedo. And because of the speed and the amount, especially on the Holland, which Lappland is the Holland, 5x5, that's very nice. It's very nice to land some really nice torpedoes, and we are trying to make a play here and also avoid this radar. This radar is the Moskva on the other side of the map, and the aircraft carrier, of course, is trying to pick on us. And you know what? That's fine. He can try and pick on us. We are going to pick right back. And I do want to try and wipe out every single aircraft and make him punish every single time, which is actually possible with Pan-Europeans. And we hit 5 torpedoes on that GK. Unheard of, right? The first send basically hit everything except for 1, and then we got 1 torpedo on the second portion, which makes it 6 torpedo lands. So we need 2 more torpedoes to hit the target in order to activate the first torpedo reload 5% benefit. And if we check our air, we have 17 of 20. Once we hit 20, we'll get that 10% improved continuous damage, which will, of course, help in the defense against enemy air. Unfortunately, these two ideas do not congruently work together. Having your AA better for your commander means that you need to improve your gun reload, which your gun reload is, it's nice. But one of the weaknesses of the Pan-Europeans is the fact that they only have 2 gun turrets, one in the front and one in the rear. And you need to have your stance wide in order to get maximum damage output. Otherwise, you only have 2 guns firing on a target. And that's really hard to compete against someone that has maybe 4 or 6 that can actually engage you. So it's a really split build in my mind. I can't really wrap my head around going all in on torpedoes because you could just have bad torpedo games. And I can't wrap my head around going all in on guns because you don't have smoke to fire freely. I would have to borrow someone's smoke, as we are here, in order to safely fire. The Pan-Europeans are slow. They're like the Americans, so they're very easy to engage even at long range because of that aspect. But torpedoes, you can't really dodge those. You can't avoid them. They come so fast that sometimes I can even catch out a DD, and I was thinking for a second that this Kaba might go that way, and no, he doesn't. But we do send at the GK, and we're hoping to land. And obviously, as this Kaba is coming this way, I am switching to AP to go against that 50 millimeters, and I'm trying to take advantage of him before he can actually engage us. And it looks like we are unsuccessful in actually landing the shot where it needed to go. The GK avoids the torpedoes. 50-50 on whether the target is going to avoid or just turn and move away. Again, torpedoes are torpedoes. It's hard for me to really want to make the torpedoes the best possible thing because it is, at the end of the day, it's up to the opponent and his maneuverability, and he could have Hydro up. They could have any number of ways of spotting these torpedoes and making them nearly irrelevant because their damage certainly feels that way. One of these torpedoes is nearly the same damage as aircraft-launched torpedoes. And for a lot of battleships and cruisers, that's sort of humorous. Whenever that lands on you, it's like, well, you tried, and you did very little for it. So I don't want to commit to a plan yet. It's still very early on. This is a commander that is in testing. He's not even available on live client for anyone. But his passives are very intriguing, especially that torpedo one. I haven't really seen a passive work like that, and it is a passive that definitely seems to benefit more from going all in on torpedoes than if I were to look at another legendary commander. Maybe the Italians or the German legendary commander, where they have benefit, but they have a cap on that benefit. You know, making your gun reload further is not going to give you another gun enhancement on Gunther for your Hinden or something like that. Oh, look at the 5. Ah, it happens so frequently. It's beautiful. Torpedo reload expert activated. We should have a little bit faster torpedo reload, and it's going to just continuously chunk out the target. It did set 2 floods, which is fantastic, and I think he actually is. Yes, he dies to us. Awesome. Our torpedoes are nearly back up, and they're really good at slowing down, you know, this exact situation. Unfortunately, there's an aircraft carrier too, so he can always keep us spotted, and I'm trying desperately to try and work down his attack rockets. He does end up coming too close, so we do have to activate, and we do activate our AA gun aiming expert. Both passives have activated once this game. Clearly knocked that out. The Kaba, point blank, you know, at this point, I just have to engage him and hope he dies before he gets too much damage on me. We do have one more heal left, and he does end up dying. That's good, but we do take a little bit extra damage, and I am desperate. I'm trying to hold off this game. Part of the reason I wanted to share this game is it's a fantastic game. Both sides, back and forth. There's no blowout here. This is absolutely a wonderful game. And I was happy to be a part of it and have the passives activate so we could see what that enhancement looks like. Now, we've got a Yamato, a GK, a Moskva. I'm trying to select a target that is going to be less than interested in maneuvering, but also capturing this base. And there's a concern. Yep, there's the concern. There's 2 radar ships around me, and another Des Moines shows up in a perfect ambush position, and we have to bail on the center of the map. There's no way we can cap this, and I don't even know if we could get away. I'm just trying desperately. Please don't shoot me, and oh, we're dead. Absolutely, we're dead. And the last little sets that we've sent, maybe they'll hit something, maybe they won't. It's a really tough matchup, though. This was a 1 CV, 2 aircraft carrier, and like 3 or 4 radar ship game. The fact that we did what we did, I'm very happy for. It seemed to be very effective and engaging, but you could notice some of the vulnerabilities of the class and the style for the Pan-Europeans. We do get 1 flood on the nose. Nice. That's a big pickup. We'll check our damage if he used damage control. He did use damage control. So that's all the damage we can hopefully get in this game. I don't think we'll get any more. And, you know, it's up to our team to try and salvage this. And Friendly Des Moines is in a power position. He's got a giant island on his starboard side, and he's trying to position himself so maybe he can AP the enemy Des Moines, or even AP another cruiser that is vulnerable. We've got a couple teammates that are on the south side. Rutin Tootin Vladimir Putin, he's in the Worcester. He's very low, so he's just trying to avoid any interest. Enemy Moskva in the background, super low. Friendly Des Moines makes a wonderful decision, and he's going to engage that guy with his HE. He should be able to kill him if he's in range, and the Moskva underestimates. The Zhao, friendly, actually gets the shot on and kills him. Enemy GK, of course, very low as well. And I'm watching this game, obviously, because it is very competitive, and my division mates dealing with this, so I'm just trying to help the team focus their efforts. But while this is going on, Swirski, is he something that is a compelling commander? You know, for me, he is, because he seems to be a legendary commander similar to the Italian legendary commander. And that legendary commander is very easy to activate, all 3 of his passives. If you play just a traditional game with the Italian, you will most likely activate 2 to 3 of them very easily, because they work off of things that you already do. The Italian one is kills. Getting a kill extends the gun range. Doing a number of shell hits enhances your consumable. And there's another one, God, I don't remember off the top of my head, duration of consumable or extra charge or something like that. But the Italian one is very easy to activate because it all aligns with what you want to do. You want to fire from range and use your smoke or whatever to avoid being spotted and doing damage. The range helps, the reload helps, and the extended duration consumable, all of that helps on the Italians. Similar discussion here for the Pan-Europeans. I definitely feel like playing more and more of the Pan-Europeans, their torpedoes are something that is special, They need to be leveraged, especially at high tier with the Holland, which is what I played. 15-kilometer torpedo range that goes 85 knots base. That's outstanding. You saw how many times we hit torpedoes. We hit 12, and we probably could hit 12 more. Because of the nature of our design, the reload is so quick, the range is so long, the speed is so impressive. The damage is the one thing that isn't there, but we broke 100,000 and we died because of the situation that the game ended up being. But in a different situation, maybe I get that torpedo reload activated 2 times or 3 times. That becomes really scary late game when you're trying to approach a DD and his reload is so low that by the time your consumables and all of your tricks to protect yourself are off a cooldown, he can send more frequently than you can even defend yourself. So the Pan-Europeans definitely will enhance that legendary commander further, and he seems to work very well with most of the Pan-Europeans. I don't know who you would or wouldn't assign him to. I certainly would assign him to my tier 10 because of competitive, rank, clan, all that stuff. It's always the thing that everyone always goes for, and you go, oh, well, his passives are deactivated in clan battle. Yes, but not in ranked. And if the passives are not deactivated in rank, you need to leverage that and use it because everyone else is doing that to you. And Swirski is definitely there to leverage your damage output and your AA defense. It works great. It works great. I have no complaints. The only complaint that I have is we could not test the tracer rounds or the flag. I don't know any of the cosmetic enhancements that the legendary commander will have. I don't know if he's going to have, I think he's a Polish commander. I don't know if he's going to have a Polish flag on a Swedish ship, right? I don't know what color his shells are going to be, whether they're going to be, blue or red or white. That's still under testing. And unfortunately, Wargaming took this commander away from us, so it was a very brief testing period. But what I tested of him, he fit right in with the Italians. It is a commander that is noticeably impactful to your overall damage output and your success. And that makes him a must-take, or a must-pick-up. And I like that in a legendary for a less-than-played line. I would love a very effective legendary commander for the Pan-Asians, for instance. Lines that don't get a lot of love, they deserve to have a commander that is actually useful and very beneficial. And I think the Italians definitely qualify. The Pan-Europeans, absolutely. The commander fits just in. It's much better to me than some of the other legendary commanders where, yeah, they're beneficial, but their passives are so hard to activate and so situational that they might as well not have them. The only thing that you benefit from is the tracer color, the flag, and the built-in enhanced commander passives. Because the activatable passives are so good, though, there is only one commander enhanced skill, which is Adrenaline Rush. So, maybe down the line with the Pan-European cruisers and battleships, they have to justify, or maybe they don't even see themselves ever making it, and maybe that's what they're communicating. Maybe there'll be 2 or 3 torpedo or DD focused lines in the Pan-Europeans. But for right now, Swirski, he's absolutely fantastic. If any of you are enjoying your time with the Pan-European DDs, I highly recommend him. And I can't wait to try and unlock him in the next patch. I believe he will be available for that. In this game, you can see just how close it really got, which is way better than any of the blowouts. So I'm happy to share my gameplay from my point of view in this because, both sides fought to the bitter end, and I appreciate that far more than any other player in this game. Having a great competitive match is way more enjoyable than all the blowouts that everyone's going through. So we got 12 torpits. We were, mid-pack. We didn't obviously win the game. We were dead for a long time. But we did activate both of the passives, and it wasn't that hard. And obviously, under different circumstances, maybe we last longer and are even more effective. So definitely excited to see this guy placed in the game at some point. Hopefully April, but anything's possible at this point. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can click the most recent or the most relevant uploads. You can also choose to subscribe to my channel. We do daily World of Warcraft videos, first impression, how-to, news, and review related. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.